Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and to a new video of some hearty, healthy vegan food I ate one day recently. I've really been loving porridge for breakfast. It's so comforting on the colder mornings and just one of those breakfasts that keeps me going. I had some coconut barista milk in my fridge and this made it so incredibly creamy. That being said, I'm thinking about going back to making my own plant milks or switching to those with less emulsifiers and oils. Just strip it down to the bare minimum ingredients. I bought this coconut butter in Bali and it's so good. It's a little bit crunchy, and anytime I can add berries onto my bowl or plate I will. It's my go-to fruit, packed with antioxidants. I also love to add nuts and seeds onto my breakfast whenever I can for variety, and of course added protein too. Finish with a good drizzle of quality maple syrup, and this delicious creamy porridge was the best cozy bowl of slow release energy. The neighbour's cat is usually waiting for me most mornings at the door. She knows my routine, so I said hello to her before going off to the gym. This is actually my first time back in around a month. Put on my favourite music and throw myself back into it. So I did an hour on the cross trainer, which I always enjoy. I noticed such a big difference in the quality of my sleep, especially when I exercise, and this one certainly works up a sweat. So jumped straight in the shower and got ready for the day.
Since I'm back from my workout and we're in my bathroom, welcome, I thought I would talk to you about my favourite deodorant. Wild has been my go-to deodorant for the past 4.5 years, and they've just launched their Emma Bridgewater Starcase collection. It's the perfect time to save with it being Black Friday, and as of now you can get an exclusive 33% discount with my code Jessica33 or using the QR code on screen, and this is the biggest discount Wild have ever had. Plus, for every Emma Bridgewater case purchased in the sale, Wild will plant 2 trees in the wild forest on top of their usual tree planting efforts. As well as the new collection, they've also just launched 3 new refills in Arctic Ice Queen, Enchanted Forest, and Sugar Plum Fairy. Sugar Plum Fairy being my favourite because it is the most delicious fruity scent. A deodorant, body wash and lip balm are all packed with natural ingredients and are free from aluminium salts, sulfates or parabens. All of the formulas are certified vegan and cruelty-free in high quality reusable cases with the compostable refills. And these compostable refills are one of the main reasons I switched to Wild in the first place. I love the concept, the fact that they're sustainable and planet friendly, as well as the 24-hour protection, the amazing smelling deodorant scents and the natural ingredients. Again, you can scan the QR code on screen or check the description box below for the link and for more information.
For lunch, I made harissa onions on avocado toast. I used a few things up from my fridge too, so I had some mushrooms that I fried up. I had a mixture of them. I then just roasted some vine cherry tomatoes in olive oil, salt and pepper. Then for the harissa onions, I had this on holiday on avocado toast and I really wanted to recreate it. Just thinly sliced red onion and added those to the pan the mushrooms were in to cook them down until soft. I also added in half a can of drained chickpeas just to up the protein for this, as well as a good spoonful of harissa, and then coated everything well in that. I also minced some fresh coriander and some fresh mint leaves to go over the top. I toasted some chia bread. Any breads with seeds or like fitness or protein bread is my go-to usually. I then just sliced up an avocado to have half on each slice, and I added the harissa onions and chickpeas over the top, along with a bit of vegan yogurt and then the coriander and mint. I love these kind of lunches with a little bit of everything, just lots of plant goodness on my plate. And I usually find things hiding in the back of the fridge somewhere that I can use up for this kind of meal too. I had my afternoon matcha later on. I made this again with coconut milk, which I haven't had for a long time. I tend to prefer my matcha lattes a little frothier, so I usually go for oat or soya milk, but this coconut matcha latte was lovely and also sweetens it without the need to add any syrup in. Then for dinner I made some fragrant tofu meatballs in a red curry and chickpea broth. For the meatballs, I just chopped up some spring onions, I deseeded and minced a red chilli, and then a good bunch of fresh coriander. I've shared a similar recipe for these meatballs before. I've slightly tweaked this one, and with my previous recipe I used a food processor, but if you don't have one you can still make these. This version's a little more rustic, but it still works really well. I crumbled the tofu into a bowl. This needs to be very well pressed. Then mix in the spring onion, the red chilli, coriander, as well as fresh garlic and ginger, lime zest, a little soy sauce, some salt and black pepper, lots of lovely fragrant flavours, and then combine it with some brown rice flour or chickpea flour. I recommend these as I think regular plain flour would make them too claggy. Just roll that mixture up into balls and set them in the fridge for an hour. Meanwhile, I made the broth. I melted a little coconut oil and then added in a good heaped spoonful of red curry paste and fried that off before then adding in a can of full fat coconut milk and just stirred it all through. And then after about an hour, I heated some more coconut oil in a separate pan and put the tofu meatballs in to cook. I just keep brushing them with coconut oil, keep them moving and turning over until they start to brown. Meanwhile, I chopped some more fresh coriander to go into the broth. I sweetened it with a little coconut sugar, and then I also added in the remaining chickpeas left over from lunch and the chopped coriander. At this point, the tofu meatballs were nice and golden all over, a little bit crispy on the outside. I placed those in the broth to keep them warm and then just cooked some rice up. And that was it. Aside from making the meatballs from scratch, this all comes together quite quickly and easily. I just made a bed of rice and then poured the broth around it. I had loosened this with a little bit of water as well, so it wasn't as thick. And then I placed the meatballs on top. I had some green beans in the fridge that needed using up too, so I quickly steamed those to go with this. Finished it with some lime zest, some lime juice and more coriander. This was so comforting. I really enjoy making these brothy rice bowls, and the tofu meatballs are always a favourite. Full of fragrant flavour and they work in so many different recipes. Then for dessert we had the new Buja Buja chocolate wonders in the salted caramel flavour. These are just tiny bites of heaven, and I think this might be my favourite flavour along with a cookie dough one. I hope you enjoyed this video. The recipes are written below. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you again soon.